come out with a win. Since Wednesday night, we talked about, when we get in these conference situations and they're possession by possession battles, just staying engaged in what actually matters, that the possession you're playing. I thought on Wednesday night, we kind of got the snowball effect going of like one bad possession led to a second bad possession, led to a third bad possession, led to a fourth bad possession, led to sorrow and sadness, which then leads to 6 more bad possessions. And before you know it, you go from being down 3 with 13 minutes to go in a battle where you haven't even played, really well, to being down 17. And so I was proud tonight. We talked about it at halftime tonight, about how to try to stay engaged in the moment you're in and do the best you can on each possession and just try to stack those possessions as it went. And obviously we couldn't create any separation, but it allowed us to stand toe-to-toe with them. And then obviously we made the good execution at the end that gave us the lead.
Kind of touching on that, I mean, Wright State was in the bonus for, I think, over 13 minutes in that second half. I mean, you guys, it was a close game the whole way in that second half. You guys needed to play sound defense. Kind of talk about what you saw from your defense in that.
I think overall, like if you look at like some of the points per possession, I think we were pretty strong tonight. They just have a lot of weapons, right? They have the spacing with their shooting. They were 7 for 15 from 3. And then obviously Noel is such a problem down there. Noel. He's preseason player of the year for a reason. And he puts a lot of pressure on guys. And I thought Varro, I thought Ish. Chris Ford had him a couple times. Antala had him a little bit. The couple possessions he was in, we were just trying to, keep some bodies on him and just make him as uncomfortable as we could, which is, never easy.
I feel like it's kind of becoming a trend, just like the three-point shooting early on, first half of games isn't necessarily always there for you guys, but you guys are able to turn it on after halftime. I mean, is it like are you stressing that point to your guys to come out a little harder?
We're trying to stress to our guys like the importance of every possession of the entire 40 minutes, and that's the area that's a little bit, we have a little bit of like this let's feel it out mindset instead of like let's come out and dictate the terms of the conflict, or let's set the tone for what we're going to do. And I thought we came out, aggressive on Wednesday night. But yeah, sometimes it almost seems like we have some guys that need to kind of get a feel for what's going on out there before they, get comfortable and can make some of the plays that they're capable of making. And, not that 41% is poor, but, certainly 1 for 9 is. And, there was a couple times where I thought we passed on some good ones and then like tried to make harder shots later in the possession. And it's like, don't do that. It's hard enough as it is. Like you get that window of time, you've got to be ready, especially, like I know Varro for sure passed on one that I was like, dude, shoot it. And then he tried to dribble in the paint and spin. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, I think we just have to keep trying to push, keep trying to, manage, keep trying to get guys to be able to, be as prepared as they can be as ready as they need to be able to affect the game positively from the tip to the buzzer.
You guys had, I think, 5 guys in double figures tonight, but one of the players that kind of stuck out to me just on both sides was Ryan. I mean, pretty good game today out of him. Just kind of talk about his game today. And
yeah, it's his birthday, so I think that's why. Now he, he's been an awesome addition to our team. He's zero maintenance. He's in the gym all the time getting shots, and so he works every day. He lets you coach him every day. He lets me say mean things to him at times. Like he's been great, and he just wants an opportunity to be on the court and play. And he's added a lot of value to us. That 3 he made in front of our bench was a huge 3. He's obviously a big, strong guy. Got 5 rebounds tonight. We've been on him about getting on the glass. He was active in that regard. So all those things help. Cam had 7 rebounds as well. Like, sometimes we've relied so much on Mar and Varro to rebound. It's like, you guys get in there and help. Like, how can you contribute? And so those guys were down there scrapping them out today, and it was great to see that.
Well, you always talk about these guys kind of don't get it sometimes. Every time I hear you talk, it's like, we still don't get this. Is this the kind of game that teaches them that or not?
I don't know.
Or isn't it? Is that deep?
Well, there's been 2 or 3 times already this year that you think you've had that the life lesson necessary to get you, back on track. But I wish we could forget. I wish we could move on to the next play sometimes as easily as we move on from a heartbreaking loss or maybe not as engaged performance as we would want. But that's part of what this is, continuing to fight and coach and fight and coach and fight and coach and, urge guys and hope that at the right times that it clicks.
This is an example of the moving on from the last game, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like when we watch some of those clips of the last game, again, I've said from day one, they're a competitive group of guys. They have pride. They want to win games. That's as odd as that sounds. Not everybody's wired that way that plays Division I basketball. These guys, there's a lot of guys in that locker room that take losses hard and they really want to win. They don't always understand the discipline necessary, the consistency necessary to make that a constant, but they do want to win, and that's our job as coaches, is to try to continue to move them in that direction and get them to be as consistent and as disciplined and as detailed as we can, so that we can control all the things that we can control, right? And again, all of us at this age, we're knew more, and we're invincible, and then all of a sudden you get burned a couple times, and or you hear it maybe enough, and maybe at some point in time it starts to sink in.
What has Dickerson brought here? I mean, I know he made this last dunk and he made the free throw. Anybody could have done that, but throughout the season, he's been pretty consistent, right?
Yeah, like I said, I think he's one of the guys that helped with the competitive nature of the team. He's incredibly prideful. He is determined to figure out a way to be successful as a basketball player, and he obviously seems to be almost everywhere at times on the court. He's active, he's engaged, he's got great instincts. He wants to get better, and so, he's in timeouts getting on guys about raising their level. He's in timeouts, talking to guys about, like, come on, let's fight back. Like those kind of comments are coming from him oftentimes. And he plays with a great spirit and a great energy that allows his words, his actions to back up his words. All right. Thanks, guys.